My Van and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arake Galaderithan, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on as the Woodland Realm, the Elves. Last time, we were schooling Gundabad left and right and centre, as we have been doing much of the campaign, courtesy of our strong allies, the Anduin and Dale. But then, of course, I almost got our three generals killed in a silly design choice by pushing up into Dane's halls, and we got entrapped. Also, now that I'm looking at the map again, my head completely swapped around the location of this river. So when I was concerned that we were going to lose all of our generals because I didn't think we'd be able to retreat, that was of course folly, because we weren't fighting on this side of the river. We have all of this space to run into. So that was completely foolish. But our army has reassembled, and we will now go back and hit them. We can hit them piecemeal, but first of all we have got to nip back and just stop with the board. Although, as I say, I'm not entirely certain I'm bothered about stopping with the board. I think it's better if we just try and crush Dane's halls quicker. So that's going to be the plan. And in the south, we're slowly making our way towards the Black Gate. But we are at an end turn, and so we will be taking that away. Someone mentioned that I said about how I could do with having cavalry in my army, and then I proceed to send the only cavalry I have back to our heartlands. But that cavalry isn't going to do jack. There's 23 scouts and 7 woodland horse archers. That's not the kind of cavalry that I mean. And also that southern army, I'm not as bothered with cavalry. It's the northern one that I would like to have cavalry in it. And our only cavalry is that woodland horse archer over there, who we can't even retrain yet because Thranduil's Halls hasn't got a stables. One is on the way. We will soon be making money. But for now, we are ending the turn. So I'm also pleased to announce, and I have it on good authority from Lord of Links, that the Ardenheim Armsman and a unique visual for the horse that the Naru and Aru Royal Guard use has been added to the game. So I can update my build and we'll get new Ardenheim Armsman when we next play the AA. Also, the faction icon has changed, and I can also change that, and that's save game compatible too. So the next time we play is the Ardenheim, which will be... Did I say I was going to live stream Woodland Realm this weekend? Because I don't think I am. I think I'm going to live stream the Ardenheim again this weekend. It will then, unfortunately, mean that it'll be 3 episodes since one of the cool little intros. But I think we should capitalise on the interest that the Ardenheim currently has. And quite rightly so. The Woodland Realm campaign, whilst I still enjoy playing this a great deal, it no longer has the same sort of pep that the AA has, because we're into the sort of mid to late stages of this game now, where unless we make some really, really bad decisions, which is not beyond me, we are unlikely to lose it. Orc Avengers, Snow Orc Raiders, Ballista, and Snow Orc Scouts. Captain Kaunithrenon, what a mouthful. Kaunithrenon is going to side with Hanar. Hanar has got 2 cavalry units, interestingly. Ironhill's Mattox and himself. And we've got... I don't know what we've got, but there's only 110 of us. But I feel like we should help, because then we don't have to bother sending our army back. Oh, and look, Gundabad's joined the invasion, and they're toddling off. It's Erebor, isn't it, the invasion? Was it Erebor or was it Dale? No, I think it is Erebor. I'm sure it's Erebor. There's another entry for the Divide and Conquer splash screen contest, pitting all of the various races around the world. Start deployment. Oh, we have 1 unit. Oh, right. Well, we'll do what we can. My strong allies. Yeah, we've been fairly friendly with the dwarves throughout the whole game, actually. Dale and the Anduin. Whilst we like Dale and we are grateful for all they've done for us, I'm also a little displeased at Dale for holding on to Dol Guldur for so long. But the dwarves haven't transgressed against us at all. Oh, they have a giant army coming in. That's why we're definitely going to win it. Right, that makes a lot more sense. Why didn't I see that in the attack screen? That's just completely passed me by. That's bizarre. Anywho, in they come. There's Erebor infantry. Red shields and dwarven chainmail. We've got some Ironhill's Mattox coming in at the back with their chainmail as well. King's axes, not fully upgraded yet. They get a full plate armour when you get them to the highest tier in the blacksmith, but at the moment they've got the pauldrons and the helmet and the cool chain, and they are exactly as they look in the films. Well, they're on their way to look like how they do in the films. Same with the king's shields, using the shield that you've seen from the Hobbit movies, using the spears that you've seen from the Hobbit movies, and the armour as well, as far as I'm aware anyway. And then some trash at the back, and then some Dale cavalry. The dwarves answer for cavalry, men of Dale. We should probably not run too fast towards the enemy, because we can't actually stop them. And ideally, we don't want to lose any forces today. So I didn't realise there was that huge dwarven army. So let's just pull our elves out altogether. No! Oh, they missed. They missed terribly. Try and run over there and get behind them. I am, of course, going to allow the dwarves to do all the fighting and to win this. Because they've got more than enough troops here to deal with this force. And I don't need to lose any troops, therefore. The dwarven primary army is now already in and fighting. Durin's Guard. They were called the King's Guard at once, but they've been renamed to Durin's Guard. It's a change I didn't note. Slipped me by. Privateer Cavalry. I really like Privateer Cavalry. They used to be fantastic, but I think they were nerfed slightly. I think they could do... either their damage was reduced or armor piercing was taken away or something along those lines. Are you still armor piercing? No, yeah, armor piercing was taken away. That was ages ago, though. I mean, that might have been 2 years ago. It was a really long time ago. But I still lament the loss. I liked them when they were powerful. Right, our elves are now firmly behind the dwarven army, so we're nice and safe. We're playing at time 6, so we've just got to wait for the dwarves to get in there and win it, really. I didn't want to auto-resolve, because if we lost some troops unnecessarily, that's not... we don't really want that. Something else I did mean to mention is the Battle for Middle-earth episode 7 went up yesterday, and I'm grateful to all of you who have engaged with that and commented and liked and whatnot. But many of you have commented saying, oh, Gallo, you're definitely going to need this, 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 or this to win the game. And spoiler alert, I've already won the game. I recorded the final episode immediately after I recorded episode 7. So the game is over. Battle for Middle-earth has come to an end, and you can watch that final episode on Sunday. It is currently, if you see in the Battle for Middle-earth playlist, you'll note there's a private video, and that is the one of which I speak. Oh, that was a terrible banister shot. Dear oh dear, those Matics took a lot of damage there. Still hear them burning away in the background. Half the enemy force remains. Also, those of you that are paying heed to Warhammer 3, you will note that another trailer released 2 days ago, yesterday, very, 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 very recently, and it shows you even more Kislevite forces. Which I think just looks awesome. I hate chaos with a burning passion, though, so I'm not interested in the slightest in the depictions of chaos, but the Kislev armies look cool. The dwarves have pretty much dealt with this. We should try and stop moving the camera around now so that they can actually just end it. But, those Snow Orc scouts giving them a bit of grief, Snow Orc raiders, but of course the real threat comes from the Avengers. Although actually, have they killed the Avengers? Yeah, they have. Oh, brilliant. It's over. By the victory we have won here today. Garneth Renan comes out without any losses at all. Captain Lugluk losing everything. The dwarves coming to our aid. Which is quite interesting, given that they have had an invasion called upon them. And Erebor is about to be beset by a host of evil forces. Orcs abound. So they could do with moving their troops back to Erebor, but of course the AI is not really clever enough for that. I think the AI does know when it's been made the target of a crusade, which is of course what the invasion mechanic is. But beyond that, I don't think they know to muster as many forces as possible. Oh, and Gundabad, you've just made a huge error, and the time for our attack has come. A critical error. Captain Zathra comes against King Thranduil the Bastion. Zathra, now with no supporting forces and no trolls, is going to get his behind handed to him on a plate. Look, Moria are joining the invasion as well. Everyone's going for Erebor, which is going to bring them through our lands, as we now hold Witherboard, which means we're going to we're probably going to go to war with a few nations we're not currently at war with, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Always giving us grief, these peoples. Start deployment, Woodland scouts. Right, they attacked us. They have got a ballister crew, though, so we've got to try and shut that down. We don't have any cavalry, and they do. But this hill over here is looking good, I think. Yes. So, mainline archers. Oh, there's only 3 of you. Let's try and run the 3 of you and stop the... Oh, and 63 of them. Yeah, there we go. It's an unorthodox plan, but it'll work. You guys group together... Now, you want to put them on defensive mode if you always wonder why I do that immediately with archers. As you've seen with the AI, something that they routinely abuse is if your archers are in defensive mode, then they will continue to shoot even if a part of their company is in melee. So, if they get flanked and the enemy's hitting them over here, then this half of the company will still shoot at whatever you're telling them to shoot at, which is ideal because you don't need all of them to drop their weapons, drop their bows when only like 10 men are fighting. It doesn't work perfectly every time, but it does better than nothing, so it's advised. Right, what we want to try and do is hide these two in trees. Ah, there we are. They're hidden in that one tree. Come on, guys. You can hide in these trees. I know you can. You're tree friendly as well. Oh, there you go. They're hidden at the back there. Perfect. All right, and then when the time arises, we're going to rush them out and try and stop the enemy ballista. But we've got to, unfortunately, lure them fairly far towards us. But our first port of call is to swing around properly and line up on the hill. I also think it might be better to adopt more of a Warhammery approach and go with the checkerboard rather than the straight line because we just don't have enough forces. So let's put the javelin troops into the gaps there. And then they can fire their javelins for one, and then it also allows us to extend our line. And the AI might get hung up on the two melee, allowing the javelins to fire a little longer than they otherwise would. So that's our hope. Alright, come at me. You're the ones that wanted this meeting. I'm here against my will. An email would have worked. I surrender. There we go. I've even typed it out for you. There's the Orc Avengers. Looking pretty swing with their various bits of dwarven metal and armour on them. Always looked cool, I thought. The wargs running through at the back. There's not very many wargs though, actually. But we are going to have to tank some ballista shots, unfortunately. But archers, you are all free to fire at will. Bring them down. As soon as these guys emerge from the trees, they will divert troops over to them. The AI is so paranoid about being flanked that they will often completely overcompensate if you try and flank them. And they'll send way more troops than they need to deal with you. So, as our army gets a bit closer though, these three can rush out. They haven't paid attention to those three. Ah, there you go. There they have. They sent wargs back just to deal with 3 random archers. We've killed 20% before melee's joined. Right, if you're out of arrows, if you're out of javelins, sorry, charge in. Why are you... Oh, you're up against half-trolls. Half-troll javelins have a knockdown effect. But those half-trolls don't like being shot at in the open, and they go down as well. Ah, you got rushed by the wargs, did you? You should be able to kill. There's only 22 of them. Wargs are terrible in melee. Well, they're not actually. They're quite good in melee, to be honest. I don't think we'll be able to make use of that hitbox there either. Why is Thranduil under attack? What? How have the Orc Avengers punched through the line like that? What's going on? Oh, the ballista's targeting low tier troops now. That's fine by me. Right, if we can, target those, please. The melee line is faltered, but that's fine. We can get more melee troops, no trouble. Our elite ones should hold fairly well, though. They're up against raiders. It's a pretty good matchup. Those Orc Avengers have punched too far, and they've paid for their hubris. Ah, Legolas, you're done and dusted.
Only half the enemy force remains.
But then you'd have to face those wargs, because they are going to kill our attempt to shut down the ballista. That's fine. If the wargs get closer... Yeah, let's speed this up. Oh, there's another Avenger battalion. Right, you guys fight them. You guys run away. Then we can flank with you. Hit those Orc Avengers. Come down. Alright, there we go. Now come over here. And we can sideswipe those Orc Avengers. We can hit those Black Shields. You're going for the Avengers as well. You've got clear line of sight now. You're going to kill off those Avengers. Yep, they're running. Right, let's get you round and support the Maithur i Thewar. Maithur i Thewar. There you go, that'll do for you. You'll probably get flanked actually by the wargs. In fact, they're already coming. So just stop and give them a volley. Real quick. Launch the attack. Don't fire it well. How did you do it? Yeah, there we go. Nice. There were 21 or something, weren't there, a moment ago? One more volley from each of you, they'll be gone. Oh, Oh, you've only got one more volley by the looks of it, actually. What are you doing? Target them! Oh, get them involved then. Right, you can come around. Don't worry about the Black Shield archers. I'm really not bothered about that. Get down here. The evil here must be lifted. In line, archers. Right, you get there. You guys just finish off those cav and then let me know when you're done. Oh, you've run out of arrows anyway, so that is the best you're going to do. You can hit those Snork Raiders. We can use you then. Oh, Thranduil is getting a beating. Right, if the wargs are dying off, which they are, then we'll send those out to deal with the Ballista crew. You both target that, please. Kill those Orc Avengers. This is a strong Gundabad force, proving why we need a few more melee forces, really. I've no doubt that we are going to win this, though, but we will need to replenish our melee line, as you might expect. And so, in hindsight, probably not the best course of action, sending one of our archer units off to try and shut down the Ballista, only to have them completely killed off by the wargs. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Right, you can charge in, you've run out of arrows, and you can come and shut down the Ballista crew. Oh, there's only a few of them anyway. Oh, fuck, the doorbell's just gone. Alright, let's carry on then. Right, you've got plenty of arrows left, so turn and hit those. Ah, the Snork Raiders are routing. The archers are making their way off. Get this Black Shield Warband. Keep firing whatever you're firing at. The Orc Avengers. Ah, you missed it over.
Slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
I think we should start to see some routing in a moment.
The
There we
battle
are.
is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours. The enemy army flees. The enemy are
Heroic
utterly
victory,
vanquished.
apparently. Game really
This
didn't think
is
we were going to
a
win.
Great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
152, Hinny Dower, Legolas. Got 130, Maithri Thawar. Thawar. Doing very well. Coming out of it with only 7 elves left, but well, nevertheless. This is why Gundabad really are the standout Orc faction. If you want an Orc faction that actually can do something and has units that will hold up in a fight, then Gundabad is the choice for you. Gundabad or Isengard, I suppose. But Moria and Mordor don't have late game punch with Orcs. You need to rely on other units to get late game punch. And of course Moria don't really have late game punch, which is something that's hopefully going to be addressed if the plans to revamp Moria are followed through. Now that invasion army, theoretically, should ignore us and head off to its intended target. So we are going to have to use this opportunity, I think, to pull back a moment. Oh, Witherboard can get a dance guild. We can't afford it, but we can get one. Oh, Amoria has been reached. Send an emissary to the Ardennheim. Oh, go on then.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
That's not an Ardennheim
Without
city
question.
game.
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Alright, well, we'll head down
I
there
shall continue tomorrow.
Remnants of Angnar, Goblins of Moria, Mordor, all at war with the Doors of Erebor, so it is Erebor, as I expected. I wonder why then we got to see... Oh, Moria reached, because we can then, for Zali, for some reason, see Mordor, Moria. I don't really know why, but there we are. Alright, we've got some forces coming up.
By the light of
I think we should keep the pressure on them at the moment, actually, if possible.
Onward, elves!
I don't think we want to stray too far away from
For the light!
here. I'm not going to go and sit in Witherboard, is all I mean by that. Witherboard will be alright. So for now, sit in that fort, get a little bit of free upkeep while that army all merges with you. And then when you've all merged, we'll go out and try and take Dane's Halls, because we've just taken the strongest units out of Dane's Halls now. And with the money that we're now making as well, things are happening elsewhere, which is nice. We're finally getting some other stuff. Yeah, you three will be good additions to the army. Thank you and welcome. Dale, why have you got a Sabian sat outside Erintholen all this time? Bugger off and go and do something. I'm sure Rune is giving you grief. Go and deal with them. The reason they have all those armies there, though, I don't know why I'm chastising them. They've got all of those armies because in Medieval 2, and in every Total War game, really, the AI doesn't really understand that you are allies. It appreciates, of course, that you are allies, and over time, your relations might improve, and they will come to see you as a staunch ally, but they will never see you as anything but a threat, even if you are allied. Now, that problem, I think, is alleviated in later Total War titles. I'm thinking my memory is returning to time playing Shogun and Rome and Warhammer, and I can't think of an AI that bolsters its border defenses when it's allied, but in Med 2 it absolutely does. It will never, in particular in Med 2, obviously the AI does not know that it cannot go to war without breaking the alliance diplomatically first. It just doesn't know that it has to do that. So it is ever ready for you to backstab it. Because when Medieval 2 was created, they of course couldn't really anticipate or create an AI that was clever enough to anticipate that a human might not betray them and that an alliance is an alliance. So in order to make sure that they were ever ready for a backstab, they're just always ready for a backstab. That's how they deal with it. So they always keep troops around. Sometimes, depending on how intertwined your nations are, it doesn't always work out 100% that way. Yes, yes, Khazad-dûm. My dwarven allies are doing well all over the board. This is brilliant. But in Dale's case, this is a classic case of, I am your ally, but I'm so wary of you that I'm going to keep troops near you. And that's exactly what Dale are doing. Right, Enethauer is ready to upgrade. That's good. Chuck that in. That will get added in no time, I'm sure. And we've repaired a castle. I didn't even bother looking where that was. Is that Dor Norhak? It is, isn't it? Yeah. They should start to really... It's 130%. 100% added by Haldir. Haldir, what on earth? A small cult has gathered around this man, and they are one tax cut away from outright worshipping the ground he walks on. Oh, Dorwinian's got the same idea as me. Another firm friend. Oh yeah, we'll hover around there and help you if you want, Dorwinian. If you can hit the gate, we're with you. Or are you heading over to Rune? Well, we can't get to the gate this turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're going to have to end the turn anyway. Right, and in the north, we can then finally merge up all those forces. Gundabad did bugger off. Perfect. So now is the time to try and hit them.
Elves.
So let's form our army up.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Onward.
There we are. It's a bit of a ragtag army, but it's got enough archers and enough chaff to block enemy attempts at us. I don't think we really actually need you. That was probably not the right purchase, to be honest, but it's done. It is what it is. We're not growing in Thranduil's halls anymore, but the population is at 12,000, so that's not the end of the world. There is a natural drop in growth in cities that can't upgrade. The game is aware of the sort of max population limit, and so growth does tend to slow down so as to avoid huge unrest problems. But also, something that I've never really understood why, I've never really looked into, and I'm not going to postulate as to why, but the elves in Divide and Conquer, and a bit more so of a problem in Third Age, to be honest, but it seems to have continued with Divide and Conquer. The elves don't seem to grow their populations very quickly, and I don't know why. It's just always something I've noticed. It could be a pure coincidence that every time I've played as the elves, I've just only ever really focused on the places that aren't growing, even if they, in truth, they actually are. But for whatever the reason, my perception of the elves has always been that they don't really grow in Divide and Conquer. Now, I should also warn you that I'm afraid if we get into another battle, I will not be able to fight it today. I had very little time to record today, so I've got another 5-ish minutes I can do. So if we're attacked in the next 5 minutes, I'll just have to save it, and it'll be a slightly shorter episode, I am afraid. Dorwinian did attack the Black Gate. That is excellent news. That is excellent, excellent, excellent news. And I can get in there and help you. Yes. The Union of Elves. Fan-bloody-tastic. I don't have any siege, so I can't take it. But I'll happily help them. I'd love Dorwinian to take it, because it's going to be attacked non-stop forever and a day. And we can then go down and hit Gondor. I'd really like Dorwinian to have them around, and so that we can go south and claim like Caer Andros and the Osgiliaths and take those instead. That would be a welcome move on our part, so I'm pleased with that. Right, in the north, what did Gundabad do? They've pulled most of their forces back to Dane's halls. Have we got a scout up here? Or a diplomat? Oh, Belthandian. Yeah, can you go and just make sure Erebor doesn't get overwhelmed? And I mean that militarily. If you see an army coming that Erebor's not going to be able to deal with, then draw your sword, sir, and bloody well get in there. Now, can we hit Maduf? No, I don't think we can, so let's learn from our prior mistake and stand on that bridge. And then we'll hit them in the next turn. We don't really have a particularly strong force, but... oh, and they've got some pale Uruks, but with some proper targeting from our elites. I say elites, it's just the generals. The generals are absolutely storming this. Oh, but Thranduil's got those Woodland Wardens out, and it is training those forces that we added. That's nice to see. Get the stables in 2 turns. Erebor and Moria, Erebor and Isengard, Dorwinion and Mordor. Oh, Mordor and Dorwinion hadn't gone to war yet, and this is the first. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, let's send you down here then, and go and have a look. Mordor are shipping forces north, so I think Dorwinion are going to need me. But that's alright. Oh, and the diplomat, I need to talk to the Ardent Knight, don't I? And then I could have retrained Karaz Galadon. It's been a disaster. You will also be pleased to know that very, very hopefully, and it certainly seems to be that way, that once the Woodland Realm campaign concludes, which will be in, I don't know, a few weeks' time, the reunited kingdom can replace it. So strap in, because it's going to be tough controlling armies covering the entire world. But we'll give it a damn good going. But we'll try. But it's not ready yet, so the Woodland Realm continues, which I'm not against, because we haven't had much of an opportunity to play with our late-game elites as the Woodland Realm, really. And also, Dol Guldur is still not held by us, and I want that. So we're going to at least play until we've won this. Try and play with some real elites. Lai Qualasiel, what a name. Draugol, eh? Well, it's probably Draugol, because there's no diaresis on the E. But I don't really need you. But I suppose we can take you. Witherboard needs someone. Dance Guild that we can't afford again. Or can we now, actually? I think we probably could. Where did you just go, Draugol? Where are we? In Enethauer. Have you all got governors? Ah, Lim here doesn't have a governor. There you go. There's a role for you. A purpose.
Sire.
You're going to go down to Lim here and become the governor. And the other one...
By the light of Elbereth.
What's your name, sir? Eruheran. You're going up to Witherboard to become the governor there. Although we have governors in all of these, don't we, actually? So, Aranethan, you're going to go to Witherboard because you can get there quicker. And you're going to go to Erin Nufuin, and you're going to take up Erin Tholan. Moria using our forests to cross over to Erebor is something I'm not really pleased with. But, oh, Gundabad have absolutely sealed their fate. Morons. Absolute morons.
Keep them off balance.
They have a strong army standing by just on the other side that they will not be able to use. So the siege begins. Although, are we going to be strong enough to take it is the question. Right. Oh, the Anduin took Fenon back. Oh, fantastic news. They haven't got Mythelberg, though. But they've taken Fenon. Oh, brilliant. Moria's power is waning with the loss of Moria, as you might expect, and as we would all hope. Can you build the... Oh, the Hall of Culture is being built. Good, that would make them free. I don't really need any troops from you, though. And oh, there's Mordor's invasion force heading north. Oh, Dorwinion abandoned the siege. Dorwinion, you're leaving me out to dry here. Come on, man. Elves standing together. Oh, you're an army of humans. That's why. You're intimidated. You're daunted by my elven prowess.
Approaching quiet.
Let's just keep an eye on that. Make sure nothing from Mordor comes through. I mean, I'll happily take the Black Gate. I'm going to burn every single building within it to the ground. We're going to get a huge income boost, and we're going to use that to our advantage. Speaking of advantage, though, let's make Dor Norhak like us a bit more, and also just go around the world and start queuing some buildings, because when we do take the Black Gate, we really are going to just storm it. We're going to burn everything. So if you could all train me military-related buildings, we're going to have a lot of money soon, and you're all going to get your queues fulfilled. Ostingal, you don't really need military, though. You can stick with the eco buildings. Oh, you haven't even got a master builders one. No, chuck that in. Enethauer? Yes, you're upgrading. And then I'd like the roads very much. Are you relatively elven? No, not really. Get that in then. Get that in there as well, son. You can take that as well. No, you're fairly elven, 63. But we don't really have anything else to build, so you might as well. Erin Tholen. Economy where possible, and Emin Nufuin do the same. We're taking farmlands, we're taking... I'm tempted with leather tanners because they do give an income, but it's just not much, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. And Thranduil's Halls already has its plan, it's going military, and Torfilin is giving us more recruitment at the moment. Don't really need a stables. Cavalry's... I'd like to have a few new cavalry units, but we don't need hordes of them. But anyway, there we are. That brings me perfectly to my timing limit, which is smashing. So thank you very much all for watching along. I know this one's taking a bit of a slower approach at the moment, and that's partly why I think I'll swap out the live stream this Saturday for the Ardenayim. So this went up on Friday, didn't it? So tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning, the Ardenayim campaign will continue. And then next week, there will be 2 standard Ardenayim videos as well. So you'll get the little updated intro next week. And stay tuned for the conclusion of Battle of Middle-earth on Sunday. That means that next week, we can start Battle for Middle-earth 2. So if you're interested and looking forward to that, then that'll be next week. And of course, we continue with Belagar Ironhammer once, ideally twice a week if possible, but once at the moment. But thank you very much for watching along. Any questions, do pop them in the comments. And until we speak again, Navair and Aden Pedamad Melonin. And farewell.